Hello, my name is Philip. Welcome to my new video about if formulas in Notion. The if formula is allowing you to return values according to conditions you have specified, and it is one of the most important formulas you need to know if you're using Notion or any other spreadsheet app. Also for coding, it's a really important formula. So the value that can be numbers, text, dates, or true or false statements. For example, you can have a checkbox, and if it's checked, the formula displays true, and if it's not checked, the formula displays not true or not done, depending on what you want to say. If you know my Notion templates, you are probably aware that I really love the if formula, and I'm mostly using it to calculate priorities in my task management systems. And I want to show you the if formula with a very simple example. The formula should display if a student has passed or failed a test, and that is according to the score the student has achieved. So in our table we have 3 students, and each student has achieved a certain score. The score is going from 1, that's the worst, to 100, that's the best score a student can achieve. And in the third property we have the status. That's a formula property. You see it because of the formula sign here, and it displays passed or failed, as I told you before. And let us click here on the formula, because I want to show you how it is done. And that is, a really simple if formula. It starts with an if, and now we have to select the property, that's the value. And the value, if the value is larger or equal 50, then the first statement is displayed. If not, then the second statement here, failed, is displayed. And of course, you can use different signs here. You can say it is equal 50, but it wouldn't make sense here. But in certain use cases, perhaps it would make sense that you just want to say true when a number is equal to a certain number. Then you say equal 50. We can also reverse the formula. So we can say smaller equal 50. Smaller equal 50, or we can just say smaller than 50, for example 49, then the student has passed. And if not, if the score is 50 or higher, then the student has failed. We could also reverse that, so failed and passed. And now we actually get the same result like in our first formula. Now the student fails when the score is below 50, but he passes when the score is 50 or higher. Let's have a look. We see we have the same results as with our first formula. The only issue now is that we just have 2 statements, but in many cases we want to have more than 2 statements. For example, if we want to assign grades to students, we need to have at least 5 statements, so A, B, C, D, and failed. How can we do it? Well, that's easy. We just need a so-called nesting or nested if formula. That's an if formula that is nested in another if formula, so to say a child formula. How does it look like? I have an example here. So more or less the same as before. It should be familiar, but now instead of the second statement, we just write a second if formula into the formula. And now we say, okay, the first statement is A, the grade A, and the second statement is the next if formula. It's the same like the first if statement. And now we say if it's greater than 50, it's passed, and if not, failed. So now we have 3 statements. But of course, it's not ending here. Instead of passed, we could use another formula, and we can go on and on and on, depending on how many statements we need in the end. And the final result should look like this formula. So now we have if it's larger or equal 90, it's an A. If it's larger equal 80, it's an B. If it's larger equal 65, it's a C, and so on. And we have 5 statements. I will give you access to this example in the description of the video. So I advise you just to play around with the if formulas and try to find a use case for it. And after playing a little bit around with it, it shouldn't be a problem for you. It's really simple if you understand the principle behind it. Maybe one more example. I told you before, the value can be a number, like in our example, a text, a date, but also a checkbox, a true or false statement. So in that case, we